It's a great question, and it's something that causes a lot of angst for a lot of people in life, is that they spend a lot of time trying to control something that is totally not within your control. So one of the first questions that I support people to ask themselves when life presents a life lesson, when life presents something that appears challenging or overwhelming or all-encompassing, is to ask yourself, can I change or control this situation? A lot of the time the answer is yes, and a lot of time the answer is no. If the answer is yes, then I suggest that you do put time into attempting to change or control that situation, but you've got to be truly honest about when the answer is actually yes. So when it comes to human behavior, can you change or control another person's human behavior? No. Can you change or control your own behavior? Absolutely. That you can always bring focus to, that you can bring attention to. But can you change another person's behavior? Absolutely not. That was one of the first lessons I needed to learn as a behaviour specialist, coming in with pictures and expectations that I'm here to change other people's behaviour. I learnt very, very quickly that that's not actually the case. It wasn't something I was taught at uni, but it was something I learnt very early on, that I cannot change or control another person's behaviour. I can only change or control my own. So if the answer is no, we can't change or control the situation, then my suggestion is that we don't put any effort into that. We don't bring any focus to that. We actually choose to spend our time in a way bringing focus and attention to the things that are within our control, things that we can bring focus to. And what that is our own behaviour. So when life presents me a challenging situation, do we try to change life? No, because we can't. Can we change what we said to one of our loved ones this morning and wish that we had said it differently? No. Can we change that we didn't leave the oven on as high as we did for as long as we did and burn the dinner? No. There is so much in our past that we can't change, but people spend hours, weeks, years, lifetimes regretting some of the movements of the past. So why? Why do we do that? Why? Because it stops us focusing on how we could learn to do life differently in the future. It takes the irresponsibility of going, I can just blame the past, rather than looking at the responsibility of going, okay, well I could learn from that situation, but how could I do life differently next time that life lesson is represented? So when life brings a so-called challenging situation, we can try to control and change it, and it's setting us up for guaranteed anxiety and failure because we're setting ourselves up for something that's impossible to do. But instead, I just bring focus to my own behaviour, to my own way of approaching life, to my own livingness, and say, what's here for me to learn? What's here for me to address? What's here for me to look at? What can I shift and adjust and change so that the only focus becomes on how do I respond to this life situation, not how do I react and try to change this life situation. So can we change anything that has occurred in our life up until this point? Absolutely not. So don't focus on it. Just simply focus on what are the lessons that we could learn, and then go, how could I do life differently when this same lesson is represented again in the future, again and again and again.